So it is actually happening, everyone. Get hyped. Check this out right here. This comes from Hiro Hyuga 95, who says, okay, didn't expect it so soon, and he reveals that he has received his copy of Outriders before the actual release date. Now, does this mean he can play the game right now? We'll be talking about that in just a moment. Plus, we're going to be talking about new worries about the loot system for the full version of the game and how People Can Fly can actually counteract some of these worries very, very quickly. Will we ever see a transmog system added to Outriders, by the way? We're going to talk about a new interview regarding that, plus some interesting ideas from you all, the community, about the game. We're going to go over those and your top comments. So let's do this. Hey everyone, what's happening? Open World Games here. Hope you're doing good. And let's dive straight in. First of all, talking about this right here. This gets me so hyped because it does mean that the game is not going to be delayed. We have copies out in the wild. People are getting their hands on the game right now. But does that mean that anyone could be playing the game before launch? Actually, he tried to install the game, log in, and it says the game is in maintenance mode. Now, it is confirmed that certain people have access to like a review code where they can actually get into the game. So there are probably people that are able to play the game right now, and we do know that embargoes for footage are being slowly lifted around the content being created right now for Outriders. I will let you guys know if any of that content continues to drop, but some really cool stuff right there. Now, there are some worries about the loot system going forward, and you can kind of see the indication there with the demo right here. It says, don't mind me, I'm just contemplating life, wondering why I can't get a legendary after 50 hours. And it seems like there's an audience out there that are playing Outriders, and they're just having no success with getting any type of legendary weapons. But on the flip side, you have this right here, KDO, who says this, just started yesterday and got the legendary I wanted. I don't even remember picking it up. So you can see how diverse the experience is from user to user. And that's probably one of the biggest worries with the loot system. The good news officially from People Can Fly is that you will be able to counteract a lot of the balancing issues with this game from the get-go from the server side of things without patching. So they'll be able to quickly adjust things on the fly. So in my opinion, that's really, really good news. And it's going to be interesting to see how they counteract some of the problems that do arise from the actual launch of the game. Will the game be a 100% smooth launch? Probably not. Of course, there were some problems with the demo, which People Can Fly immediately got to. You guys know the biggest problem was that inventory bug where people's inventory was disappearing. But the good news is they got on that very quickly. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Transmog in this game. Could we be seeing that in the future? So this is a fairly new interview that asks that question. It says right here, will there be a transmog system to allow players to change their currently equipped armor's look to another of their liking? And they say, yeah, no. At the release of Outriders, there will be no transmog system yet. Maybe we will add it later, but not on the release date. So I really do hope they consider adding this later. It's interesting because Assassin's Creed Valhalla recently added an entire transmog system to their game. So it is possible to really get in there and add something like this. So that is good news to see that, a big game like Assassin's Creed Valhalla can pull that off. I really do hope Outriders can do that. Or perhaps they may actually take the approach of having some sort of dyes or options to change the current color of your clothing. But let me know what you would like. Would you like the option to change the color and look of your current outfit, or do you just want a transmog system? Sound off in the comments down below. Now, this is a hilarious effort to create a petition right here. It says, a man needs a name, petition to give our infamous farm captain a name. He's contributed greatly to the demo, and I feel like this would be a great way to honor him. Any ideas? So I'm going to ask you all, what should we name the captain in Outriders, who has been the most useful resource for getting those legendaries? What would you call him? Sound off, because I definitely want to highlight your comments on this in a future video. Now, also, I found this absolutely hilarious. This is something I would want to see in the future for Outriders when it comes to modifying your big rig. Check this out. It says, people can fly. Can I get this as a hood attachment, please? Hell yes, I absolutely love this movie. It is one of my favorite movies, the Mad Max movie. I would love to see something like that. I think it would be absolutely hilarious. Or an enemy that's kind of like this in the future. Now also, you guys seem like you want this option as well. The option to hide or swap appearances on gear. He goes on to say this, like many others, I have a tough time choosing stats over looking awesome. This already great appetizer of the game would be even better if we could hide helmets to see the character we created, recolor those eyesore bright yellow pants, or select a visual for a weapon we once had and didn't want to give up. Now, it turns out that yes, you can hide your helmets in the game, so that's noteworthy. If you do have that problem, you can actually do that currently. But again, it just seems like you guys are partially not happy with some of the gear in the game, how it actually looks. Now, my character right here, which by the way, this comes from one of my streams with my twin bro Ryan. Check out the link in the description below to join in on my streams. We have a ton of fun. But yeah, my gear right here, I was very happy with it, to be honest with you. But it would really be cool to see that transmog system in the future. Now, this is another post I wanted to highlight, another idea from you all. It says, can there be an option to join a random game with some filters? Example, mid-max world tier and mid-max player levels. I think that's going to be super important in the future for Outriders. But also, I think the biggest worry that they have with adding something like that is essentially dividing the community between 15 world tiers. I don't think anyone's really going to go in there for too long and search for world tier 3. You know what I mean? But I think that this would make sense near the end game, if you would, once people start getting into the end game, having that option to be able to play with only people that are interested in world tier 15. That would be really, really cool. But I think the thing that's going to help mostly with this is once you actually get past the story, you're going to be finding people that are going to only be playing on world tier 15 for the most part, and they're also going to be going after that challenge tier in the expedition. So I think that's where you're going to be seeing, and that alone will alleviate a lot of the worries with having the need to have a mid-max player levels or mid-max world tier search engine, if you would. But it would be a cool addition. But I think the longer we get into the life of Outriders, that's going to become less of a concern. All right, now it's time to go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up in a future video. So let's see what you guys had to say about the most recent Outriders video, which, by the way, I'm going to throw in as a top comment. It's going to be a pinned comment here. So let's see what it says. It says, Outriders News Update. This is insane. It says, new gameplay shows off monster hunting and in-game build. This was really, really cool right here, how it shows off some amazing monster hunting. This is, I believe, a challenge tier. So this is considered an end-game build, of course, with the Fire Witch Pyromancer build, which is so freaking awesome. I honestly think this game's going to have a ton of replay value as people get into it more and more. Now, let's see what you guys had to say about this. Carwin Promoter says, I just started playing this game. I love it. Hell yes. Petrora says this, I put more time in this demo than most complete games, and that is saying something. Blink says, I honestly can't get enough of my Technomancer. It's an absolute weapon of a class. I'm excited to play this one because it seems like that long range, perhaps support role. We're seeing him right here, actually. And I love the abilities he has. It kind of reminds me of like an extreme version of the Division, I guess you would say. Now, let's keep going here. Great White Mama says, the amount of enemies coming after him is nuts. Absolutely. Malison says, damn, seeing those other enemy types like the big monsters put my mind at ease a little. I was a little worried we would only be versing humanoid creatures all game. That's the thing. I do feel like the demo needed a little bit of a tease as to what to expect from creatures, bosses, the big monsters. I think they really needed that in the demo to give that variety and, you know, show off what's in the full game. But yeah, in the full game, you're going to have a ton of variety, it seems. Now, D Spider goes on to say, People Can Fly is setting the bar high for the rest of the gaming companies out there. Can't wait to play on Xbox at 9 p.m. on the 31st. Ready to try the Fire Witch build and burn down the battlefield. Hell yes. Yeah, I guess Xbox is a really good place to play this game for sure. But yeah, to each their own. Let me know actually what platform you'll be playing on. But that's going to do it for the latest happenings around Outriders. I got you guys covered with anything related to this game's future, of course. I'm curious to see where this game goes in the long run and what they could potentially do as DLC. I do hope that they're currently kind of looking at DLC options, but they have said that they are going to be passionate about, first and foremost, making the game work, making sure it's balanced, because they say this is a fully fledged game. They didn't take the base content and split it up into a live service game. They didn't believe in that. They really wanted to offer something that was like a full experience and then go from there. I guess they're going after like the Diablo and Monster Hunter type experience with expansions and stuff like that, which hell yes, I am there for it. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.